Hello everyone, hope you are all safe at home. Keep learning, do not waste your time, right? And in today's video lesson, we are going to talk about the area of a triangle in the coordinate geometry, that is chapter 7th of class 10th. Right, those who have not watched the previous videos of the coordinate geometry, part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4, do watch them and proceed to this video. And here today the new concept, that is area of a triangle. Although you know the area of a triangle, right, that is half b into h, right, half base into height, the area of a triangle. But we are going to derive the formula in the coordinate plane. Now let me take the coordinate axis, the y-axis and the x-axis, right? So x, the negative x-axis, let us take it as x dash, y-axis, the negative y-axis as y dash, right? This is the coordinate plane. So we are going to derive the area of a triangle in the coordinate plane. So for that, let me draw the triangle. Now how the triangle is formed? By 3 points, isn't it? So let me take the 3 points like this. Let this be A, B and C, right? So with the 3 points which are not in a line, we can draw a triangle. So this is the triangle. So let us define the area of this triangle. So let me shade it, because so this part I want to find the area, right? So there I've taken 3 points on the coordinate axis. Now the points, how do I define the points? The points in the coordinate means x1, y1, let it be, and this is a x2, y2. Okay, this is x3, y3. Right, now we need to find the area. We also learned in our previous sessions about the distance formula, distance between 2 points on the coordinate axis, as well as we have learned the section formula. We have even learned the midpoint and also the centroid formula. Now we are going to derive the area of this triangle. Now let me take, for this derivation, let me drop perpendiculars from A here. Let me drop a perpendicular to the x-axis, from B to the x-axis, and also from the point C to the x-axis. Let me drop 3 perpendiculars from A, B and C, so that here, let us suppose this is Q or a P, Q, R, right? In the similar way, let us take drop the perpendiculars to the y-axis also, here from C and from B. Okay, what I've done, just have dropped the perpendiculars from ABC to the x-axis as well as from ABC to the y-axis. Now here, if you see clearly, see this diagram, A, B, C, here Q, P, R, right? Now let us name these also. Let us take this as S, this is T, this is U, right? Now here if you see, there are trapeziums formed here. This is the shaded part, this is the unshaded part. Whole thing if you see, there are trapeziums formed. Now the trapeziums means 2 sides parallel, the other 2 sides are non-parallel sides. That is a trapezium, which is a quadrilateral, right? These are, see, if you see A, B, Q and P is one trapezium. A, B, Q and P is this one trapezium, and the other trapezium is A, P, R and C, right? And if you see the unshaded part, that is also trapezium. See here, B, C, R and Q. This complete unshaded part is also a trapezium. Now, from the concept of trapezium, we will bring out the area of a triangle. Now, in this whole diagram, I want the shaded part. Shaded part is the area of the triangle. To find out that, I will find the area of this complete trapezium, this trapezium ABQP. Then I'll add it to other trapezium, that is this trapezium. If you add both the trapeziums, you get the complete thing, area. From that, I will subtract this trapezium, that is the unshaded trapezium, isn't it? Then you get the shaded part. So trapezium ABQP plus trapezium APRC minus the trapezium BCR and Q. So like that, if you subtract, you get the area of a triangle. So here we will be deriving the area of a triangle. Now here, area of triangle. That area, how do I get? Is equal to area of trapezium. The first trapezium, I'll take this one, ABQP plus area of trapezium, the other one, see this one, this part, APRC. Subtract these two from the unshaded part, so that I'll get the shaded part, which is the area of a triangle. So minus area of trapezium. What is unshaded trapezium here? This part. So BCRQ. Okay, BCRQ. So this is clear. The area of a triangle is both the trapezium plus minus the unshaded part. Now, what is the area of a trapezium? General formula, area of trapezium is, this is a quadrilateral, isn't it? It is equal to half. The trapezium has a parallel sides, isn't it? So sum of the parallel, one set of parallel sides, other set is a non-parallel. Sum of the parallel sides into, the brackets into, distance between those parallel sides. Distance between them. Them means those parallel sides. So this is nothing but the height. Sum of the parallel sides, and the distance between these two parallel sides is nothing but half into, it's nothing but the area of a trapezium. So with this formula, we know this general formula. With this formula, we will substitute all the three trapeziums and bring out the area of a triangle. So here, the area of this trapezium plus the area of this trapezium subtracted from the area of this unshaded trapezium. Right. Let us write the formula, that is half area of, first let me write the area of trapezium ABPQ. So the sum of the parallel sides are BQ, AP, right? BQ plus AP. Now what is the distance between these two parallel sides? PQ or QP, right? Now the second trapezium, that is APRC, this trapezium. Now the parallel sides are here AP plus CR, and the distance between the parallel sides is PR, isn't it? Subtracted by the unshaded trapezium, this complete trapezium, okay? So the sum of the parallel sides are BQ, CR. BQ plus CR, and see this complete trapezium BQ plus CR, the distance between them is QR, okay? Q and R here. The distance, this unshaded trapezium BQ and CR is the parallel sides. Distance between them is QR, right? Now, after getting this, now let me write all these terms in terms of the coordinates, right? Now BQ, what is the BQ? See the diagram and write B and Q. What is BQ from here? How will we calculate BQ? That is Y2 coordinate. Right, now here the next term is AP. Let me write AP. See here, AP. So Y1, AP is Y1. Now the next term is QP. Here, Q and P. How do I get QP? Here, till here x1 minus x2 is QP. x1 minus x2. Now all these terms I have listed out. Now here the next one, AP, here again AP is already there, so no need of writing. CR is not there, so let me write CR. Now what is CR? CR from here, this part is Y3. Right. And again PQ is there, QP or PQ, one and the same, so no need. Now other term BQ, here BQ is already there, CR is there, now only QR I want. Okay, QR, BQ, CR already there, see here BQ, CR. So now see here QR, here QR, this part QR, this comes from X3 minus X2, X3 minus X2. So all the terms have come. Now see here this, this is not PQ. See here the second trapezium is this. Parallel sides are AP, CR. Distance between the parallel sides is PR. So I have written PQ. So this is R. Okay. This is PR. Please note it down. Right. Now PR also we have to write because we didn't write PR, isn't it? Now PR. This is the distance between the parallel sides of the second trapezium. Now PR, how do I get it? X3 minus X1. X3 minus X1. So all the terms, be cautious and list out all the terms in terms of the coordinate. Now we will substitute them in the formula. Here half. Right? BQ plus AP. BQ is Y2. AP is Y1 plus. Isn't it? And multiplied by QP. Where is QP? This one. This is multiplied. X1 minus X2. Plus the second trapezium, APCR. See here AP, this is CR, isn't it? AP, where is AP? Y1, CR is Y3, multiplied by PR. Here this is Q I have written, but change it, this is PR, right? PR multiplied by this, X3 minus X1, subtracted by half BQ CR. See here BQ and CR. This Y2 plus Y3 multiplied by QR. Where is our QR? Here. X3 minus X2. This is 2. Write it correctly. Right. Now we will multiply. We will do the product. I'll take the half outside. The binomial products. Okay. We will multiply from this and here. See this to this I'll multiply x1 y2 again plus x1 y1. Now 2 terms over. The next term minus x2 y2 minus x2 y1. So 4 terms I've got plus the next one x3 y1 x3 y3 minus x1 y1 minus x1 y3. Okay, all are plus terms, but the next one is minus term. Minus should be carried out to the all the 4 terms in this. Here minus x3 y2. Right. Now again minus x3 y3. Now here again minus x2 y2. Minus and minus plus x2 y2. Here when you're multiplying, just minus sign should be carried out to all the 4. So minus x2 y3. So plus x2 y3. So all the terms you got, whereas we have taken out the half. Now which are some few terms will be cancelled. Let me see. x1 y2 anywhere? x1 y2 no. Let us check. x1 y1. Where is x1 y1? Here. Plus x1 y1 minus x1 y1. Now x2 y2. Again you check it out here. x2 y2 plus x2 y2 minus x2 y2. Right? x2 y1 no. Again x3 y1. x3 y1 is also not there. x3 y3. See here. Plus x3 y3 minus x3 y3. So all the 6 terms I have cancelled, where 1 1 2 2 3 3 like that only we got the cancellation. Others will not get cancelled because x1 y2 x2 y1 like that. Now after cancelling, what do we get here? Half, because they are all measurements, isn't it? Let us take mod. because if even though if we get negative negative terms, it will be changed into positive one, that is the mod value. So since it is the area, so we have to take positive, so I am keeping mod value. Now here let me take one term common and let us replace. Now first I'll suppose it as x1, right? I'll keep a bracket, so I'll take x1 y2 here, and where is x1 again? Where is the x1 term? Any x1 term? See here, x1 here, see this term. So I've taken x1 common, so it becomes y2 minus y3 simply. From these two terms I have wrote x1 common. Now you have to remember that's all, x1. So let me take x2 again. Okay, where are the x2 terms? Now here x2 term is there, and where is another x2 term? Check it out here, this. So y3 minus y1, y3 minus y1. Now let me take x3 terms together. Where are the x3 terms? Here x3, right? So y1 here minus another x3 term, this one, y2. Okay, so all these 6 terms I have written in 3 terms by taking common as x1, x2, x3. So this is the area of a triangle, and this is not at all complicated because easily you can remember by keeping half mod. Mod value, why are taking mod? Because even though if you get minus 2 after solvation, if you get negative numbers, we should not take negative numbers for the area, isn't it? So the mod value will eliminate the negative. So I am taking mod value. x1, simply remember x1. After 1, 2 and 3. y2, y3. x2, after 2, 3. After 3 again 1. Cyclic. 1, 2, 3, 3, 1. Okay. x3, y1, y2. Like that you have to remember. No need of by hearting the formula. This is the area of a triangle in the coordinate axis. Now quickly pause the video. Let us see the collinearity property. Now the property of collinearity. Collinear means when 3 points will be collinear. Now we were discussing about the area of a triangle, right? 3 points when they are collinear means if they are placed on the same line. Collinear. Linear means line, isn't it? So on the same line. So if the 3 points are on the same line, these 3 points are called as collinear points. Now if I want to check whether the points A, B, C are collinear or not, then I can check because I have studied the area of a triangle. How to find the area of a triangle? We got it. Now from that we can also check. If the points are not collinear, somewhere different, they are not on a one line, isn't it? So that we can form easily a triangle. That means if I want to check the collinearity of any 3 points, simply if I check the area of a triangle is equal to 0. If the area of triangle, if the triangle is not at all formed, that means the points are collinear. That means indirectly we can tell, if you check it for the area of a triangle 0, then the points are told as collinear. If the area of a triangle is not 0, some other value, then we can say that the points are not collinear. They are placed somewhere. They are not placed on one line. So we can form, when they are not placed on one line, we can draw a triangle, isn't it? So collinearity means just checking the area of a triangle to 0. So those points will be collinear. We can say area of triangle 0. Now let us find the area of a triangle again. Area of triangle by Heron's formula. Heron's formula. Now we know multiple formulas. Just the area of a triangle when height and base is given. We know area of a triangle when height and base is given. Okay, this is the height and this is the base. This area of a triangle is half base into height. Okay. Now Heron is a Greek mathematician. After his name only they have kept the formula. Okay. Now he has reduced the formula for area of a triangle when it is having x1 y1, okay, b is x2 y2, c C is x3, y3, or just ABC. If they are not at all in coordinate axis also, in the coordinate plane also, we can use the Heron's formula. Now, the side opposite is some distance A. Now, side opposite to the B vertex is B and C. Now, how do I get ABC? From the coordinate plane, how do we get? This is the distance, isn't it? Distance between B and C. We know the distance formula. We can find this A. A is the distance between B point and C point, and BC is the distance between A and B. B is the distance between A and C. So, these distances we can easily find. So, when we know these sides, these are the sides, isn't it? When we know the sides, the area of a triangle is given by Heron as under root S into S minus A, S minus B and S minus C. Right. Here we know only the height and base. One side I know and one height. If you know the height, you can use that formula. If you know only the coordinates, you can use the area of a triangle, which we found just before. We got it, half mod x1 y2 minus y3, that one. And this is when you know the sides, just the sides. If you know the sides, you can use the Heron's formula. And here A, B, C, you know, they are the sides. And what is S here? Where S is half the perimeter. Perimeter of this triangle is A plus B plus C, isn't it? This is A plus B plus C is a perimeter. So, half the perimeter is nothing but the S term. This S, after placing it in the formula, this is the Heron's formula for the area of triangle. Okay. So, using these three, that is the collinearity. When you say collinear, the points are collinear when the area of triangle is 0, isn't it? Then the points are collinear. And the area of triangle, if asked to find through Heron's formula, you have to use this formula. Now, we know the concept of the area of triangle today in this session, and in tomorrow's next session we will be solving the problems regarding this in the exercise 7.3. Hope you practice, learn the concept, and we will see with the next concept in our next class. Thank you all.